Echo 3-1, Viper 1-1 on approach, ready for tasking. What's your position? Roger, 7-1. Target acquired. Weapons free in 5 seconds.
There we go. And good evening, peeps. If you are joining us tonight, you are, of course, joining us for the weekly recap show. And I'm so happy to be here. Yay! And of course, you are. There we go. Of course, if you are joining us, you are joining us, myself, and in Seeker 707. How are you, Seeker?
I'm great, thanks. And yourself?
It's good. It's all good. So, guys, if you are joining us tonight, thank you very much. And for those of you on the stream already, if you could let us know. And I see, oh no, I don't know if that's for us, but let's ask. If you are joining us on the stream, let us know if everything is good on your side. Good audio, good video. Seeker, speak with me, please. Blah 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 blah. And also let us know about the mix, guys, whether myself and Seeker are good. Last week on last week's stream, I think either myself or Seeker was a little bit soft, so then I could just change the mix up here on my end so you guys can hear us and all sorts of stuff like that. But I think we're all good. Got a couple of.
Floofy says we're good, so we're good.
Nice, Floofs. Thank you very much. By the way, I absolutely like those little videos that you do. I don't know if it's out of boredom for being at home, but I don't know, Seeker, if you've seen Floofy's videos. There's little.
I haven't, but now I know, and I have to go and look.
There's very interesting little little clips that she does. I think when she's bored. I don't know. Maybe she can tell us. But I watch them when they come on. So very cool. Very cool. I like that. Seeker, what an interesting week, right?
Sure.
And I mean, we're going to talk a lot about the week that has passed a little bit later tonight in terms of the results and the tables and all of that. And also, of course, a hell of an interesting week next week, right?
Yeah. I mean, next week we've got Season 4 starting for Call of Duty, which is going to be fun. Not our Season 4, Call of Duty Season 4.
Yes, Call of Duty Season 4. And of course, it is a seasonal update, right? So, I mean, we're expecting anything between sort of 20 and 40 gig, right? So, ow.
Yeah. Nah.
But I mean, it's good, right? I mean, there's some good solid stuff out. There's a couple of things that are not 100% confirmed, but that has been leaked and that sort of thing. I mean, there's a couple of new maps coming. I think the thing that has been leaked, which is probably not a big thing, but after last night's escapades that we had on the pub service, I think you're also excited to see whether it's real, and that's the akimbo blades, right? So there's a rumor that we will be getting akimbo knives, and of course last night we had hell of a fun, right, on those pub servers running around with knives. I mean, I've never done it, I've never been interested to do it, and then last night we decided let's do it and let's see how it was, and yes, did I have a lot of fun. It was absolutely great.
I've never run around with a knife, especially not.
Can I tell you, when you told me that?
Just with a knife?
No, but can I tell you, when you told me that, I thought you were like joking, right? I mean, you turned your knife into gold in like what? About an hour and a half? So, I mean, that was nuts, right? I was like, okay, please someone take the knife from her.
It's a nice sharp object. I mean, chicks like sharp objects, right?
It was great fun, man. I had such a laugh, right? And I mean, we at what was it, at 1 o'clock or something this morning? We were still killing people with knives, so it was pretty good. I really had a good time last night. Anyway.
Yes, I think we had about an hour of just one more.
Yeah.
That.
That was
And
fun.
then
Can we do one more?
it was over so quickly. Let's just do another one. Come on. You don't have to go. It's Sunday. You don't have to wake up early.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was absolutely great fun, and I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Look, I mean, I won't play like that all the time, obviously, but you know, for now and again, it was actually it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. So, Siki, who's joining us on the stream? Anybody giving a shout out there?
Quite a few people on here. So we started out really early this evening. Stephen Ward was here, nice bright and early, to say hi and make sure he didn't miss it. So hi, Steve. Lisa's here, Crispy Bacon Bits, Fluffy, of course. We've got Constant Glitch. Jochie's here. We've got Dennis van Eck, Henrik Barnard, Cheryl, Marie, Nevin Fraser, Necrowolf is here. Peace Destroyer 5, Jared Curran from FTWK. Let's see who else. Am I missing anybody? Flamehound is here. Hi, Chris. Black State Ranger, of course. Gerard is here. Wanda's here. Hi, Wand. All the way from America.
Howdy, Wand.
Of course, we've got Ethan Hill. We've got Skommel from Invasion Gaming. Sure. We've got Junior's here. NASA's here. Lots of people tonight.
Lucky, and I see some good.
Lovely to see all the.
And I see some good team representation as well.
Yes. So everyone going, yeah. My team is here. Hi.
That's great.
But to answer one of the questions, Flame had a little bit earlier about, please say somebody has submitted clips. We had a few clips that were submitted. Unfortunately, we will talk about that in a bit, but there's certain things that we can't use.
Yes.
And we will get.
And
to
it's
that
not those sort of clips, right? I mean.
No. It's not.
But we can't
not,
use those either, just for the record.
Just saying. Even if you have permission to post them, we still cannot use them.
Actually, what?
So there's.
Let's talk about that now. So guys, we had some really cool clips actually that were submitted to us by people, and of course the reason why we asked for those clips is that if you are looking at your screen right now, what you are looking at is some, I don't want to say really boring gameplay, but some let's call it some random gameplay with some kill streaks and that sort of stuff, and that's obviously just to give you something to look at while you listening to me and Seeker. And what we asked for is we asked for guys to please submit us some player game clips that we could actually feature on the show while we were busy talking and show the background clips and that sort of thing. But we had a couple of issues with the clips that were submitted, and maybe Seeker, you wanna highlight what those were.
Right, so first of all, we are not able to use Twitch videos. There is a legal problem with that. So we can't use Twitch videos, so please do not submit us Twitch clips. Secondly, do not submit on behalf of people. You have to be the owner of the channel, or so the channel that's basically actually uploading the videos. So it has to be your own video. You can't submit on behalf of people. And the other one is TikTok. We are not able to rip videos from TikTok.
Exactly, and of course, to be able to display it on the screen as an overlay, I have to actually be able to get it, off where it is. And TikTok, unfortunately, at this point, from a security level, does not really allow you, unless you are the owner, to be able to really get that in a decent quality format. So there was, like I said, we actually had quite a few submissions, but they were all either TikTok, Twitch, or they were not the owners of the clip, which is unfortunate. So we thought let's highlight it again this week and maybe just make it a little bit more clear in terms of what sort of clips we are looking for. But guys, if you do go onto your profile on the website, of course, the website www.bfclanwars.net, and you go onto your profile under the section called EFF, or Everyone's Fan Favorite, you will see a small write-up if you read that first, and that pretty much explains the process of submitting a clip and how we can, let's call it absorb those clips. So maybe just have a quick read there before you submit the clip. And hopefully next week we can get some clips that we can actually use. And because I'd love to show some gameplay at the back. I see Gerard had a nice idea here in the stream, saying get a few captains to play some of the fun matches during and maybe stream that. That's actually maybe not a bad idea. Of course, we can do that, but if there are some players out there that would like to be featured during the recap show, I mean, that's obviously first prize for us, right? I mean, we would like to also promote some player gameplay and stuff like that while we're doing this. Yeah.
Yes, of course. And Flame Hunt, yes. So YouTube is the best to use. Actually, YouTube is the only one that we will take clips from. Even if it's on Twitch, there is a way to actually upload your stuff to a YouTube channel after you do a Twitch live stream. And Floofy is asking what is the issue with Twitch clips, and it is a copyright issue. There are issues there, but also most of the stuff that comes from Twitch is live. And actually doesn't get stored afterwards. So we get sent clips that don't exist.
Yes, for example.
Technically.
Yes, and this
So,
and the
yes.
clips that are saved, there is definitely a let's call it a legal ramification that we're trying to avoid. So unfortunately, Twitch also doesn't work that great, guys. But as Sika said, there is a way to just upload those clips onto YouTube, and then definitely we would like to use those.
Yeah, because otherwise, after the video gets done, after the recap show gets done, if we've shown Twitch videos, we get copyright infringement notifications.
Yes, YouTube does
So,
that to you sometimes, and then of course
yes.
your whole video is a bust, right?
And then, of course, if you're wanting to watch it afterwards, you get these lovely advertisements that get put on by Twitch.
Yes.
So, yes, we try to avoid all of that.
Of course. All right, but there we go. That's the reasoning behind it, and hopefully people will get us some cool stuff that we can use, because I'd love to actually do that. Now,
I'm actually
Sika,
busy uploading my own one from my my grind for Obsidian on the knife.
nice. So hopefully you get picked, right? We'll see. We'll have to
Yes,
speak
yes.
to the picker.
Yes.
Great.
Yaku! There's a great clip coming your way.
So listen, let's talk a little bit about. I mean, we're going to talk about the results and things in just a minute, but let's just talk a little bit about this past week. It's been hectic, right? I mean, I can tell you, I'm so impressed with these streamers coming out of the woodwork. There is a lot of people coming out and wanting to help stream, wanting to host games, and it's been an absolutely phenomenal response from the guys out there that are streaming. So guys, from my side, I just want to say thank you very much for the streamers who do put up their own time to stream a lot of these games. I mean, I quickly did a calculation this week, and just from streaming hours, there was roughly about, I think it was something like 22 or 23 hours of streaming of these games this week, which is phenomenal. It's absolutely great. Now, of course, that will translate into a lot longer viewing time if you times it by the number of viewers and all sorts of things like that. So for the guys that came out and are streaming these games, thank you very much for doing that. We of course always promote some streaming talent where we can. And guys, if you see links coming through on the Facebook page or on the the WhatsApp groups or whatever may be the case, go out there and support the streamers. They really do appreciate it, and of course they do it on their own time. So I think the least that we can do is support those guys when they come out in force and get these Clan Wars games out to the community, right?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we do still have some gaps if there are still people out there who would like to get involved. Sorry, Eckhart is saying on the stream that you are really soft.
Am I really
maybe
soft? Okay, so let me.
That at the meantime.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do have some gaps, especially if a lot of clans play on one night in particular, and usually that happens to be about a Wednesday and a Thursday evening. Obviously we can't split our streamers into multiple personalities, although some of them do display that, myself included. But so hopefully if there's anybody out there that is actually still wanting to do, to get involved and start out or get their channel a few more, viewers and a few more hours worth of gameplay, then yeah, please contact me. If you don't know who I am, I'm NCK707, or I'm sure all your clan leaders will know exactly who I am.
There we go. And I've put myself a little bit louder, guys, so if my sound was fine with you and now I'm too loud, also please let me know, because now I'm seeing that other guys are seeing that I'm fine. So maybe Eckhart, your sound the sound button is the plus makes it louder. I don't know if that's going to help. Just kidding. So there we go. So I am a little bit louder, guys. Please let me know if I'm shouting now or not. Rightio. So, Seeker, are we going to get on to what has actually happened for the week?
Yes, let us do that.
Rightio. Where do you want to start? You want to start with results?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Right. So first of all, thank you very much for the cool graphics. You guys will see that we have a brand new set of graphics this week. They have been designed by Seeker, and they are now available by division. We were asked the question earlier in the week that, listen, we appreciate you guys showing the results, but of course the results are mixed as the games were played, and some of the guys were asking for results in a divisional format, and Seeker did some cool stuff, and now we can actually bring that to you. So I'm going to start back to front, and I'm going to start at Division 7. So let's pull that up for you guys. And if you're looking at the screen now, you'll see the results for the games played in Week 2 for Division 7. And of course, starting at the top there, we have the game that was between Rise of the Expendables and TNT Regicide. That's, of course, the notorious Thugs. The Thugs took the win there with 695 points over the 690 points of Rex. So it was very, very close there in terms of who took the win, but TNT taking the win there. Then
Extremely close game from what I hear.
Yeah, you can see it for the points as well, right? I mean, the 5 points in it. Yo. Then we had the game between Charlie Tango Cockbark, and that's, of course, CTK. And they took the win there with 744 points over Digital Devils, who had a score of 587. And then the third game there for Division 7 was the game between Predators and the Lords of Latency. And of course, the Lords took it there with a win of 699 points versus the 615 points of PDT. And I'm not sure
Also
whether...
a very close game.
And I'm not sure whether Rox is on the stream tonight or not. I haven't seen her yet. So, unfortunately, this week, Rox not taking that win after last week's brutal performance, I would say. but very, very close there against the Lords of Latency as well. So that was your Division 7 games. Moving on then to Division 6. The Division 6, of course, also had 3 games. The first game up there was the game of FWF Fire with Fire, and that's, of course, the Bravo team. They took the win with 745 points over Outlaw Gamers, and Outlaw Gamers there with a score of 630. The second game was the game between the Monkeys, MSMK, and if we look at the tables in a little bit, I'm going to mention something about the Monkeys there, but they took the win over Divine Gaming, the Viserion team, with 562 points. And then the last game there in Division 6 was between the second team of 4QM8, which is of course just 4Q2, and that is they took the win there with 733 points, and they of course versed the notorious Thugs, the Osiris team, and Osiris there scoring 673. And from what I understand, the Division 6 and 7 teams are absolutely good at stuff like scheduling and following the rules, and apparently Rox is saying it's absolutely great to deal with these two divisions.
Yeah, and you conjured a wild home girl as well. She's just said hello on the chat.
Oh, did she? Did she? I was wondering. I was wondering whether she was watching or not.
She's probably listening while eating supper or something.
There we go. So moving off Division 6 then and on to Division 5. So in Division 5, we had those 4 games that were being played. The first, of course, was the game there by the Original Gentlemen's Club, and they versed PWPK. And, of course, the Gentlemen taking the win there with 750 points over the 510 of PWPK. The second game there is, of course, the game that was between Boar and Zion taking the win there, 750 points over the 478 by Boar. The third game there, Phoenix Phantoms, and they versed New Era Gaming Specialists, and of course, again, very, very close, but Phoenix taking the win there with 699 points versus the 685 from Nex. And then the last game was a game that I actually spent some time watching. It was a very, very good stream done there by Toxic Monkey as well. And that was the game between B1 Gaming and Falcon Gaming. And B1 taking the win there with 700 points over the 612 points of Falcon. So there we go. Siki, you want to call out anything about one of these matches? I know you also watched a couple of streams.
No, in the next division I will, but
right.
This one is fine for now.
So moving off Division 5 then and on to Division 4. So the Division 4 games, do you want to take it or can I read them and you jump in?
Oh, you could read it. There's just one in particular that I would like to just say something about when you're done actually calling out the stats, because there might be some questions on the stream about it.
All right, excellent. So the first game there was Invasion Gaming, and they versed the team of Blur 2. And Invasion took the win there with 699 points versus the 571 from Blur 2. The second game there was the game between FTWK and, of course, they were playing People in Need of Knowledge, or Pink as they are better known. And FTWK were taking the win there with 750 points over the 380 of Pink. The third game, that was the game between Fear and Toxicity Gaming, and Fear taking the win with 750 points over the 595 of Toxicity. And the last game there was the game between Cloudy and the Notorious Thugs Amuba. And of course, Cloudy took the win, although Notorious Thugs had a higher score, which is probably why I need to give you a moment to talk about why that happened. But just to call it out, Cloudy took the win there with 600 points versus the 634 from Amuba. And Sika, now I will give you an opportunity to explain, even to me, why that happened.
So yes, before the questions start on why actual Cloudy had less points on the board than Notorious Thugs Amoeba, what actually happened in the very first round was the host team had set up the match with only 200 points instead of 250 points.
Mm-hmm.
So it did result in a yellow card for the host team. The second problem with this match, I want to say problem with it, but the reason that the points show the way they do is because there were also other yellow cards issued because there were unregistered players played in those rounds. So although there was a 2-1 map win, there was infringements, so there were points deducted from the actual divisional tables.
Okay, excellent. And that's of course where the score difference then comes in, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, it's important to follow the rules, ne? Right, so that's the one that you wanted to talk about?
That is, yes.
Excellent. Moving off Division 4 then and on to Division 3. So in Division 3 we had those three games. The first game there between Dark Divine Bravo and Divine Gaming Dragon, which always confuses me because it's Divine and Divine and everybody's Divine and playing hell of a games.
And they're playing Divine matches.
I know, Divine matches, right? So Divine Gaming Dragon, they won the match there with 648 points versus the 564 from Dark Divine Bravo. And from
actually,
what
that's another point we have to bring up in a little bit as well, but I'll let you finish the actual.
Yes, we do need to talk about that, but let's finish that first, right? But remind me, otherwise I'm going to forget to bring it up. Then the second game there was between 4QM8, and they of course played off against Project Beta Darkbach, and 4Q took the win there with 750 points versus the 622 from Project Beta. And the last game there for Division 3 this week was of course between the team of Blur and Fire with Fire Alpha, and Blur took the win there, 600 points over the 472 of Fire with Fire. But I understand a very, very close game as well. Anything you want to add here, or do you want to wait right to the end before we talk about that?
No, well, I mean, while we've got it up on the screen, it is a Division 3 sort of announcement, but we are actually very, very, very excited to be able to announce that one of the teams has actually been picked up as an official esport team with a sponsor.
Whoop, whoop.
So Whoop, whoop. So we won't be confusing anymore between Dark Divine Bravo and Divine Gaming in Division 3 because Dark Divine Bravo will be changing to Sector 17 Esports.
Correct, correct. They have picked up an official sponsor. And of course, guys, as you know, that's sort of, part and parcel of what we try and do with Clan Wars is we try and promote, teams and players and, things like that. So the guys actually do manage, if possible, to, get their teams a sponsor or, something along those sort of lines. And we're quite happy for these guys to say that they've managed to do that. So normally, of course, we don't allow name changes and that sort of thing, but we've received official communication that these guys have been picked up. So, of course, for that purpose, and because we like to be flexible as well if we can, there will be a name change of these guys. But congratulations from our side, guys. It is actually a really, really cool achievement, and we wish you the best of luck with that sponsor that you have picked up. Yeah.
Yeah, all a whoop whoop for Dr. Van Bravo.
Yeah, let's get some whoop whoops going in the comments there, right? It's a really, really cool achievement, and I'm very, very happy for these guys, right? So moving off Division 3 then, and on to Division 2, the second last division. In Division 2, we had 4 games that were being played. The first, of course, there was against F2O, first to Obliterate, and they played the girls this week. And First to Obliterate picked up the win with 750 points versus the 546 against GSG. And you actually played in that game, Secret.
I think I've blocked it out due to trauma, but I believe I played in that game.
That's funny. Yeah, it's like I do the same. I block out, right? If I get shotgunned, I just block it out.
Absolute blank.
I've never been shot by a shotgun. Oh, that's so cool. But a hard game, right? I mean, I watched the bits and pieces that I could as well, and it seemed hectic.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't have any recollection whatsoever.
That's great. Right, moving on then to the second game there. That was between Dark Divine Alpha and, of course, the Green Ears Good Boys. That's Gig 797. And Dark Divine picking up the win there, 750 points versus the 520 of Gig. The third game there, Project Alpha Tarkmach, and they versed Lifeline Gaming. And Project Alpha picking up the win there, 750 points versus the 622 of LLG. But I understood a close game as well. And then, of course, the last game there in Division 2 was played between Motion Esport and Brotherhood of Beasts. That's, of course, Bob. And Motion Esports picking up the win there with 750 points versus the 285 of Bob. And that is Division 2.
I see there's a comment on the stream from Eckhart about that final game there, but I won't call it out so you guys can read it.
Okay, there we go. We'll do that. Moving on into the results of last week for the last division, and that is Division 1. And there were 3 games played in Division 1 last week. The first being against CPR, or Cross-Platform Rejects, and they played Untamed Beasts. And Cross-Platform Rejects took the win there with 750 points versus the 595 by Untamed Beasts. And can I tell you, though, that taking nothing away from CPR, right? But I mean, Untamed Beasts has really come out this season, and they are a lot stronger than they were last season, right? I mean, the score here, I don't think reflects how tough that game was, first of all. And secondly, I mean, CPR has been a smashing team in season 1 and 2. And for UB to come out and play this sort of hard game against CPR, I think UB this season they're going to be a team to watch, right?
Yeah, definitely. We've got our eye on them.
So second game there was between Gunslingers Elite and Phoenix Warriors. And Phoenix Warriors taking the win there, 725 points versus the 668 from GSE. So very well played there by Phoenix Warriors.
Another very close game.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then the third game was between Rebel Mafia, and that is, of course, the Venom team. And they played Evil. And, of course, Siga, you played in this game as well, with Rebel Mafia taking the win there, 750 points over Evil's 592.
Yes, all I can say about that one is I can see why Rebel Mafia was unbeaten in the previous season
Yep.
and got the Untamed Award.
Really that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are an absolute beast team as well, and they are quick, right? They are very, very, very quick, very quick. So there we go, guys. That is the divisional results for last week. Now, before we move on to the cool and exciting stat stuff that we have for you for this week, for the individual players, I'm very quickly just going to highlight for you. We will not call it out tonight. We have decided that we're trying to keep the recap show to a certain length, so I'm not going to call it out, but I am going to show you where to find it. So if you're looking at your screen now, you will see the website over there, and that is of course www.bfclanwars.net. So if you don't know where to find it, that is where you go. And to find the schedule for the next week, you head over to the menu item that says Leagues and Tournaments. You go to the Call of Duty section, you go to the Season 3 section, and there will be a little menu item called Event List. So if you click on there, what you will see is you will see all these events, again, which I'm not going to call out, and there is a lot of them. You can see all of them flashing over the screen there. And of course, the thing to remember, the important thing is that you can see the date when the guys will be playing, which is at the top left-hand corner. In the middle, there's a little countdown bar, and it will tell you the two teams that versus each other. So please go and check out the schedule for the next week. It's available on the website. It is updated by a Sunday evening recap show every Sunday. So go and check how that aligns to your schedule if you want to watch some games or anything like that. And that is when the teams are playing. Of course, the stream links are made available as soon as they are available, and that's normally through the Facebook page. So if you are on the Facebook page, that's great. If you are not, then Seeker is going to drop the Facebook page link there as well, or you can just search for Call of Duty ZA, and most of the links are being dropped there. There are, of course, also people that stream directly to the Facebook page. For example, Toxic Monkey, I know, does that, and go and check it out. Come watch some of these games with us. It's really, really cool. Just for interest's sake, guys, I'm just going to also show you, if you do go onto that same sort of menu item, the other items that are there, if you are interested to go and can look at them as well. The first one is, of course, the Season 3 teams, where you can see all the teams and their team pages with their profiles. Their profiles also contains the players that play for that team that are registered for the tournament, and also the league tables of where that team is positioned within the league. You can get all that information if you are following a specific team. So if you are a fan of someone specific, go there and go and check out the team page for that particular team, and you'll get some information on them. Of course, that team page will also contain any awards or any previous awards won by that team. So that's of course also tracked by season, so you can go and check it out and have yourself a look. Then very importantly, the rules, right? So that is where you can find the rules, the general rules, the rules for the first 7 weeks of play, which is the domination rule set. The hardpoint rule set is also there, and then of course also the rules around score reporting, and we're going to talk a little bit about the rules in a second. Then Season 3 divisional tables, which we of course show on the recap show every week, and we'll talk about that tonight again. The events list we talked about, and of course then there's also a results menu item where you can find any of the results of previous played games. And those are stacking, guys, so the results don't actually disappear. At the end of the season, you will see all the results for the entire season on that page. So there we go.
Yes.
Just a little...
It's quite a long page already.
Yes.
I can't imagine by the end of the season.
Yeah. So I mean, we obviously, try and keep all the information as concise as possible, but there's just so much information that we have to make the website available, and we hope you guys not only enjoy it but also use it. Right? It's very, very, very cool, and with the player individual stats that are being tracked for the season, it's becoming even more awesome. So while I'm on that, a big shout out to not only our league masters, I'm going to say 3 league masters because I'm going to include you in this, Seeker. So Seeker, Rocks, and Little Green Monster Lisa. Not only a shout out to our 3 league masters, but also a big shout out to our stats master and our stats slayer, Our Stats Master, of course, Black Slayer Ranger, and our Stats Slayer is Chaos Artist. And these guys are doing a phenomenal job at this point in making sure that all the stats are updated, everything is tracked, the leaderboards are up to date, the player stats are in, and it allows us to do a couple of cool things, right?
Yes, it does. Cool, some very smooth transition there from one topic to the other. Just
I
saying.
know. It's almost like I planned it.
You know.
Now, the only thing that you have to tell me though is where you would like to start. Would you like to start at
Well, I think
7,
we
or
would
do you
like to start with a little bit of clickbait. How about that?
Okay, start with the clickbait. Go.
Right, so because we've got these awesome new stats and ways to track amazing things during the season, we have actually increased the awards for the end of the season. Dun, dun,
Absolutely.
dun. But stay tuned because next week you'll find out.
Exactly. So, guys, we are going to drop a teaser during the week anyway. That will be on the Facebook page as well. And we want to show you what are some of these new awards that we've come up with because we can now track these player individual stats. And we actually have, it's about 6 or 8 brand new awards that are player, or let's rather say stats specific awards. As you guys know already by now, if you have been following the league, there's a couple of awards that we give at the end of every season. Some of these awards are voted awards by the players, by the captains, by the teams. And then, of course, now that we can track some stats, there's also some awards that are going to be purely stats based. And I think there's about 6 or 8 of them. But we will give you a teaser during the week. And then on next week's recap show, we will actually show you some of these awards as well. Now, after that, this week we're actually going to talk a little bit about some of these players that stood out during the week before we look at the divisional tables, right?
Yes, we are. We're doing things a little bit differently this week. Last week we had the top 10 in all the divisions for the best sort of KD and for the best score. So we had a few guys asking us to do it a little bit differently. So we've decided to do it top 3 in each division.
Can I just call something out here?
Yes.
Doing last week when we did the top 10 KDs of across all divisions and across all players.
Yes.
And we did scoring in the same way. We did top 10 scoring people across all divisions, across all players. And then, of course, like Sika said, we had a few people approach us and asked us if we could do it differently. And again, I just want to call out Black Slayer Ranger here, who went away and had to fiddle with his formulas and did a lot of back end.
Delightful.
Yes, and did a lot of back end work here for us. And from this week, we are able to actually see the top players per division. Yay!
Yay!
Now, which division would you like to start with?
I'm going to start at the beginning. Start at Division 1 and work our way through.
Fine. Right, so Division 1's on the screen.
All right, so you'll see it both on the screen at the moment. The top 3 scores in Division 1 and the top 3 KD ratios. So I'm going to call them out there. For score, the number 1 player there was Perplexed ZA from CPR with a 22,575 score. Then we have Deadeye from UB with 21,625. And it's Shep from GSE, Gunslingers Elite, with 19,300. Right, KD wise, we've got Dia Voodoo from RMZA Venom with 1.69. We've got Mr. Tequila 003 also from RMZA Venom. I see I forgot that out there, but with the KD of 1.49, and Perplex ZA from CPR with 1.45. Very well done to those players in Division 1.
So some really, really good KDs and scores coming through here, but those are your top 3 scores and top 3 KDs for Division 1. Moving on then to Division 2.
Right, so Division 2, Week 2, score-wise, we've got Reactivity from Motion with 22,450 points, or score-wise. Cobra Venom from Project Alpha Tarkmark with 22,350, and Panda G from Dark Divine Alpha with 20,350 points. For the KD, we've got Reactivity from Motion up at the top there, again with an incredible 3.09 KD. We've got Oak from F2O with 2.37, and Sad Panda from Motion with 2.08.
Can I just say here that Reactivity's name does not constitute that KD. because that doesn't seem very reactive to me, to be
That's very
honest.
proactive.
You should change it to proactivity. Not now, of course. In the next
Yeah.
season. Right, moving off then from Division 2 and onto Division 3.
All right, Division 3, Week 2, score. A DMO ace from Divine Gaming Drogons. And actually, you'll see all three there from top scores there from Divine Gaming Drogons. So, the first one, their DMO ace with 21,675. Then we have Zigalicious with 20,700 and Flamehound SA with 20,150. So, an incredible showing there from Divine Gaming Drogon. I got that right?
Yes, you did.
I think so. It is a bit of a tongue twister when you have so many people with like similar names. Right. So KD wise, we've got Void from Blair with 2.56. And again, we've got Divine Gaming Drogon here. DMO Ace with 2.21 and Flamehound SA with 2.17.
Yo.
I know Flamehound is in the chat though.
So the Dragons, they were ruling Division 3 this week, right?
Haha, yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so what's nice about this though is that we can actually now check this on a weekly basis, right? To see how it changes, goes up and down and that sort of thing. Now guys, just before I move on to Division 4, maybe just something that I want to call out. The other reason why we are doing it this way is that you will see, and again, there's a little bit of a tease for the week and maybe for next week's show, is that you will see that what will happen is that the awards will actually be divisional based as well. So when it comes to the awards at the end of the season, we are actually going to be giving awards per division as well, based on some of these statistics. So maybe just something interesting to drop in there. But moving off then from Division 3 and moving on to Division 4.
At Division 4, score-wise, we've got Deleted from Fear Gaming with 21,675. Donnie from Cloudy Gaming with 20,050 points. And Atom from Fear with 16,700. KD for the week belongs to FTWK. Hectic with 2.63. Badges with 2.59. And Extreme with 2.38.
All right, so there's something that I just noticed here in the chat, and Flamehound is saying that there's apparently a slight discrepancy between his KD on the website versus the KD that was shown on the screen earlier. So Flamehound, what we'll do is we will go and we'll check that for you. It's possible that
I can tell you why there's a difference.
All right, tell us why.
Because the one on the website is cumulative.
Oh, and this is just for the week, of course.
This is just for the week. Yes.
There we go, Flamehound. There's your answer. So accumulatively, yours is 2.24. And if I can't recall now exactly because it's not on my screen anymore, but what did we call out?
I can go back quickly. Flamehound is 2.17 for the week.
Oh, there we go. So obviously, Flamehound, you are doing accumulatively, you're doing better than what you did for the week. Congratulations.
So last week
that.
you just,
This week was better. Let's just say this week was fire, right? Excellent. Right, so moving on then from Division 4 and we're moving on to Division 5 then.
Yes, Division 5 for this week. Score-wise, we've got Prexy from B1 Gaming, 21,450. Then we've got Slushy from Phoenix Phantoms, 20,750, and Friction King also from Phoenix Phantoms with 20,650. Exactly 100 points between the two of them. KD ratio, we've got Bender from B1 Gaming with 2.39, Arprexy from B1 Gaming with 2.20, and Raven333 from the original Gentleman's Club with 2.13.
There we go. And do you think I will be biased to say I'm quite happy with Iprexy there? Doing well on score and on KD ratio?
I mean, it would make sense if the chat knew who Arprexy was.
Oh, my nephew, yes. Yes. So doing very well in Division 5 there at the moment. So a little bit of a shout out. I figure he is probably watching. So there we go. That is Division
Actually,
5.
he's not the only nephew in B1 gaming.
Yes,
If I
yes.
recall, yes. The other one is a
Yes.
little bit more obvious.
Yes, yes. Of course, the other one is a little bit more obvious, but nonetheless, showing some family support there for Iprexy in Division 5. Well done, Boyke.
And I do these things, so there is no nepotism involved. Just
There,
saying.
there we go. There we go. Right, moving on then from Division 5, and we're going to Division 6.
Right, so Division 6 score-wise, we've got Synoptics from MSMK with 27,575 points. Oh, Oops Mate from 4Q2, 22,575, and Judge Dredd from 4Q2 with 21,625. KD ratio, Synoptics, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from MSMK with 2.33, Captain Vors from MSMK with 1.67, and Bob, or Bab, from Fire with Fire Bravo with 1.45.
I don't know if that's Bob or Bab. I
I want to
don't.
say Bob,
I want to
but I
say
want to say it like a sheep, like Bob.
Bob. I don't know. Maybe Bob should let us know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get a message later going, you butchered a name again.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, now it sticks, thanks.
Right. Moving then on to our last division top players of the week, and that is, of course, Division 7.
All right, so in Division 7 for this week, we have SX Desire from TNT Regicide with 25,625 points, Chiron 777 from Rex with 22,150, and Redact BTW from Digital Devils Gaming Alliance with 19,425. KD ratio, we've got Berserk Wolf from CTK with 1.98, DM Killer 89 from the Lords of Latency with 1.90, and the SX Desire there again from TNT Regicide with 1.75.
So all in all, it looks like anything between sort of 19,000 and 25,000 score for the week makes you top 3 in your division, and anywhere between sort of 1.5 up to around 3 puts you in the top 3 for your division for the week. So I guess the guys have an idea of
And
what they're playing for, right?
unless you are Synoptics from MSMK, who went 27,575 and
Yo.
has had an incredible score for 2 weeks in a row.
Well, I mean, you've got to call that out. It's well done, right? Absolutely well
Yeah.
done. So, guys, from our side, exceptionally well done to the top 3 players, score-wise and KD-wise in every division. We, of course, as Sika said, we are recording these stats on a weekly basis. So the stats that you saw tonight was specifically to this week that has passed. Next week, of course, will be specific to that week. But if you look at the website in terms of the player individual stats on every team page, you will see that that is a cumulative stats tracking. So, of course, the scoring on there will also be a cumulative. Because these are things that we call out on a weekly basis. But as I said with the earlier teaser, of course, the idea is that we reward some of these players for their excellent gameplay that they are giving to their teams at the end of the season. So there we go, Sika. That's the top players of the week, right? Are we ready to move on to the third and final bit? I am watching the time here for us, and that is, of course, the divisional tables.
Yes.
Right.
I think, yeah,
But
I think
this
everyone's here to see how their teams are performing.
excellent. But this one I'm going to do back to front. So I'm going to start again with Division 7. So
Of
pulling
course,
up.
but you're always back to front with these things. That's why I do
Not
mine
always.
front to
Just
back.
sometimes try and mix it up, right? Keep it interesting. So there we go, guys. Looking at your Division 7 there, that is, of course, starting at the top there at the moment, it is CTK holding that first position with 1,483 points. They are followed very, very closely by TNT Regicide on 1,445 points, so not a big difference in there. In third position there, we have Rex with just over 1,390 points, followed by PDT in fourth on 1,365. Then we have Digital Devils there in position 5 with 980 points. And then, of course, the two teams that have only played one game as yet, so they still each have a game in hand, is the Lords of Latency as well as Sicario Death Squad. the Lords of Latency there on 699, and is the S on 468. So of course those last two teams still have a game in hand. They haven't played their second game yet. Some of them have had their off week in week 1 and 2. So now that we're going to get into that part of the season where everybody's going to start drawing level on the games, I think it's going to start getting really, really, really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
That is Division 7. Division 6, we have at the top there, holding the first position at the moment, Monkey See, Monkey Kill. And this is what I wanted to call out earlier, or right in the beginning of the show when we were talking about the results. The Monkeys there at the moment running a undefeated score. So they are on maximum scoring points of 1,500. They are being followed very, very closely actually by Fire with Fire Bravo on 1,427. And then the next two teams, very, very small gaps, right? So in third position there, Divine Gaming, that is the Viserion team on 1,312, and just below them in fourth position, 4Q2 on 1,235. In fifth position there, we have the Outlaw Gaming, 1,113 points. And again, in this division, the last two teams have a game in hand. That is the teams of Zold and TNT Osiris. Zold on 747, followed by TNT there in 7th position on 673. And of course, both Zold and TNT still a game in hand. Yo. This is going to be a nice division to watch as well, by the way.
Yes, definitely.
I do think so. Moving on then to Division 5. In Division 5, of course, there are no off games in Division 5, so there's no break week. And a team to call out there, of course, is the team of Zion. They are currently running on maximum score, so 1,500 points there for Zion. Then we have Phoenix, and that is, of course...
Phantoms.
The Phantoms team. There we go. Thank you for helping me. They are on 1,419 points. We then have the team of Falcon there on 1,355 points. The team there of the Original Gentlemen's Club on 1,353. So literally 2 points difference. Yes, 2 points difference between the third and the fourth position. How much difference 2 points make, huh?
Yeah, it's nothing in a game of domination.
But can I tell you even worse than that? Just a few points after that, I'm talking like 11 points later, you have the fifth position. So even there's not even a big gap between the fourth and the fifth position, because in fifth there we of course have Negs on 1,342, and they are followed by B1, and B1 they're currently on 1,261. The last two teams in this division then holding position 7, PWPK on 1,191, and Boar there in position 8 with 1,172. And I can tell you, this is also a tough division.
This is definitely a tough division.
All the teams here are exceptionally well matched. So definitely I'm trying to watch some of these Division 5 games as well. Moving
and the sad part about it is some of these the points differences are because of silly mistakes.
Yes.
Using the wrong weapons, etc.
Those yellow cards are creeping in, right? Those yellow cards are creeping in, but hopefully
and they do make a huge difference.
They do. They absolutely do. I mean, it's minus 50 points for a team who gets a yellow card, right? So I mean, it's a big thing. You play hard for your points, and then you sort of give them away, because of a silly thing, right? A silly mistake or whatever may be the case. We will talk about that a little bit towards the end as well, but hopefully, we are getting on to week 3, so it's the third week into the league, and hopefully the guys have now managed to, calm down, understand the rules, and hopefully we will see less of that. But of course, in week 1 and 2, there was a couple of infringements, but hopefully we'll see less of that, right? Going on to Division 4 then. So in Division 4 at the moment, the top spot being held there by FTWK. And of course, they are also on a maximum score streak at the moment. So they're on 1,500 points. In second position there, we have TNT, the Notorious Thugs. And that is, of course, the Amuba team with 1,384. We have Toxicity Gaming there in third position, 1,345 points. They are followed by Fear in 4th position, 1,314. Invasion Gaming in 5th, 1,309. Blur 2 is then at the 6th position with 1,271. And the last two teams there, Pink and Cloudy. Pink and Cloudy Pink is on 769 and Cloudy on that 600 points. Of course, in this division also no games in hand, but you can see that here there's a couple of teams that probably could have gone a little bit higher in the table, was it not for those infringements, right? I mean, at the moment I want to call Division 4 the bad boy division.
Yes, my grey hair division.
The grey hair division, because there's some yellows and things happening here. Now, of course, as I said, guys, we are only in week 2, so hopefully by week 3, everybody would be used to how it works and we would see less infringements. I certainly hope so. But you can see from the table over there are a couple of yellows that were issued in this division that could have put teams a little bit higher up in the divisional tables. But that is the way it stands at the moment.
I mean, to put it into perspective, 50 points doesn't sound like a lot, but if you look at between team in position 2 and the position 5, there are less than 80 points dividing those 4 teams.
Exactly. So 50 points becomes a lot, right? And that is why we do the league the way we do it, because it becomes that close. Right. Moving on then to Division 3, and your Division 3 table for the week looks as follows. Is you have Divine Gaming, and that is of course the Dragon team there with 1,398 points. They are followed very, very closely actually by 4QM8 on 1,333. We have Dark Divine Bravo, which will very soon be Sector 17. And we're probably going to have to call that out a couple of times so that people don't get confused where they went, right? So Dark Divine Bravo then, of course, they're on 1,264 points. They are followed in 4th position by Fire with Fire, and that's, of course, the Alpha team on 1,222. In 5th position there, we have Project Beta Tarkmach on 1,069 points. And then, of course, we have Blur and RMZA, and that is, of course, the Reapers team. Blur there on 450 and RMZA on 411. And, of course, in this division, both positions 6 and 7, Blur and RMZA, still have a game in hand. So just bear that in mind when you are looking at the scores. Moving off from Division 3, and then I have to talk less. My throat is getting dry. So moving on to Division 2, and we have Dark Divine Alpha there in the leading position. Well, actually, no. Let me put it differently. This division is going to be hard no matter how you look at it, right? Because we have 3 people at the top there with exactly the same scores. And guys, in case you are wondering, the reason why Dark Divine Alpha is showing at the top is this is, of course, still alphabetical if there is a score match. But the first 3 teams there are all running on maximum score. And that is Dark Divine Alpha, First to Obliterate, and Motion Gaming, right? So they are all on 1,500 points, so running maximum there. So actually, first, second, and third position is a tie, shared for first, right? So just bear that in mind. At the moment, that is what it looks like, right? So very, very, very tough at the top there. Because not very far behind them, you have in 4th position Project Alpha Tarkmach, and they are on 1,373, followed by the girls on 1,296 points. Just below them in 6th position, we have LLG, Lifeline Gaming, on 1,125. We have Bob there in the 7th position, 947, and they are followed by Gig on 884. And this is, I mean, honestly, this is a tough division. This is hard. These guys are all slaying it like nobody's business.
Yeah, I think all top teams there are vying now to get into Division 1.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Now, before I go on to the next division, I see interesting comment here. So Battlefield players are now playing COD.
Yes, they are.
It seems like. It seems like. So guys, if you do see some of these names that you recognize, if you have been with us for some time and you've been following not only the channel but also the league, of course, we also do some stuff around Battlefield, and there are, of course, some of the teams that have migrated and are now playing COD with us. So that's also exciting to watch. Moving on to the last division for tonight, then that is of course Division 1. And at the moment, the team running a clean score there is RMZA, and that is of course the Venom team, and they are on 1,500 points. They are followed very closely on 1,400 points by CPR, cross-platform rejects. And then of course we have the Phoenix Warriors there on 1,310 points in third position. In fourth we have GSE, 1,306. And just below GSE we have the team of UB on 1,270. And of course, in this division as well, there are two teams that have a game in hand, and they are the teams of VDT and of course Evil. So Vendetta Gaming there, they are of course our Season 2 champions. They have a game in hand, and they are on 735. And then of course your team, Seeker, which is the team of Evil, also with a game in hand, 592. Sure. That was not planned, but it was well synchronized. Excellent. So there we go, Sika. That is the divisional tables for the week, right? Some exciting stuff. And I can see that there's a lot of shifting in some of these divisions. I had a look this afternoon at the divisional tables for last week. And of course the ones comparing them to the ones of this week, and there's some major shifts from last week as well. And I think this coming week is going to be just as exciting, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've got some interesting games lined up. And of course, I mean, we've had to work around now with the update being on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we don't know how big it's going to be yet. I mean, there's some speculation of 20 gigs, some speculation of 40 gigs. So, I mean, we're sort of kind of holding our breath for that. But I know there won't be any game scheduled for Wednesday night, depending on what time the actual update happens. But yeah, I mean, everybody's really excited.
So if nobody's doing anything on Wednesday night, then Wednesday night will be a good night to put out those little award teasers, won't it?
Ooh, I think that's a good idea.
There we go. So guys, look out for that. I've just decided that's going to go out on Wednesday night. So have a look for that on the page if you want to see it. Some of the new awards and things that we are working on. What a mouthful, Seeker. These recap shows are now going to be... Oh, remember we always said we wanted to keep it to half an hour? I don't think it's possible anymore.
Yeah. That was before we had 52 teams taking part.
Exactly.
7 divisions.
So I think with these 7 division guys, I think book it out for an hour. It seems that is the time it does indeed take. Now, Seeker, from your side, anything that I forgot to mention that you still need to bring up? Anything that you wanna talk about still?
No, just guys, please make sure your teams are reading the rules and understanding them, and checking loadouts before matches, and making sure that you don't lose out on positions on the divisional table because somebody accidentally threw stun when they thought they were using a stim, or
Yeah, absolutely.
or players changing their names for
Yeah,
no reason
and
during the
of
season.
course, I mean, at the end of the day, we don't like giving out a yellow card at all, right? I mean, I don't
No.
like it. It's not something that I
There's
sort of
a lot of admin.
Yes, well, besides the lot of it is a lot of admin. You're right, but besides the lot of admin, it's not like I'm rubbing my hands together, going, "Ooh, who's getting a yellow?" I'm more like, "Oh, damn, really?"
No, we don't get bonuses for yellows.
No, it's a lot of admin. So, but hopefully, again, we won't see as many this week. As I said, the guys are getting into the groove. They are understanding what needs to be done, and hopefully that we'll see less. Hopefully, we'll see less.
Yeah, and also remember, because there's some divisions that guys didn't play their first matches last week, so their first matches essentially were this week.
Correct.
So, yeah, I mean, some of them, going into their first match have made silly mistakes, and it does show. That's why we always say the first 2 weeks are rough for us.
Yes.
But I think that's, it'll start to calm down after that. And
I think so.
hopefully, yeah.
I think so. So I see that there's an interesting question in the chat here. Can you still register players? So no. That's the
That's the
short.
short
That's
answer.
the short answer, right? So at the moment, unfortunately, can't register any more players. The players and the player roster has been set for the next. Well, what's it now? What's left of the first part? About 5 weeks, right? So in about 5 weeks from now, the league takes what is called a mid-season break. So they have the entire league has 1 week off. And that is also the week we call transfer week. And in transfer week, we allow teams to register additional players. And the reason for that is that, the first part of the season, it is 7 weeks long. It is quite a long time. And in that 7 weeks, you do very often find that teams still went through recruitment cycles and they found some new players, or they identified a player that actually plays very well, but they didn't register him in the beginning, or whatever may be the case. So we allow transfer window specifically to register some of those players, either players that are new to the clan, or that didn't play COD 7 weeks ago and didn't know they had the talent, or whatever may be the case. So we do allow
Change their name.
Or change their name, or whatever may be the case. So there is a transfer window that we will allow in the middle of the season to register some players. But of course, right now the rosters are locked and no new players can be registered. And of course, now, guys, something else that because of the player individual stats that we didn't have before is that, of course, now we are tracking registered players on a weekly basis as well. Of course, we have to, because we have to update the stats, right, and keep their KDs and their scores and things up to date. So we are literally looking at the registered rosters, sort of on a daily basis when these things happen. So just to answer that question, with the long answer, not right now, but of course, transfer week will be there for the teams that would like to register additional players. Did I say all of it that needs to be said? I think so.
I think so.
There we go.
Yeah.
Anything else, Seeker, that you want to call out?
No, just a massive thank you from our side to the rest of the League Masters, of course, Lisa, Little Green Monster, and Rox Homegirl. Done a great job. You guys are keeping the teams on their toes and sorting out issues where, if and when they happen. And of course, the Stats Master and Stats Slayer, that would be Gerard or Black Setter Ranger, and of course Vincent or Chaos Artist. Extremely good job happening on that side. We don't have any issues. We running like a well-oiled machine at the moment, which is fantastic.
Absolutely, and of course worth to mention as well, right? So there we go, guys. If you have joined us tonight, we really hope that you enjoyed the recap show with us. Of course, if you are already subscribed to the channel, you guys are awesome. If you are not subscribed to the channel, a little less awesome, but you can become very awesome. Hit that little subscribe button, also the bell to get your notifications whenever we go online. And if you like what we do, remember to please give us a like on this video. We always appreciate some positive feedback. If you are the one guy that gives us a dislike every week, then maybe it's time for you to find a different channel of entertainment, but otherwise give us a like. We love that.
Or just let us know. Let us know why you don't love us.
Yes, please do. We always appreciate feedback, right? So if you guys want to leave a comment on this video as well, positive, negative, doesn't matter. We take all the feedback and we try and improve as always and bring you guys something really, really cool from a Clan Wars perspective. But Seeker, I think that is what we had from my side. Thank you very much again for your company. Lovely as always. And hopefully this week I will be able to also bring you guys a game stream or two. I've managed to hopefully sort out my rig after last week's blue screen. So hopefully this week I can also do some game matches. So I'm quite excited about that as well. But Seeker, thank you very much for all the work tonight on the great graphics and all of that stuff as well. And again, to the people out there that joined us for the stream, we really enjoy your guys' support, and thank you for also doing that. This is going to be a very exciting week that is ahead. We are heading into week 3, and I am excited to see how those league tables and things are gonna change. Exciting times. Let's see what the update brings, right? Hopefully it doesn't break.
Hopefully new maps, new weapons. It's going to be awesome.
And we're going to probably have to put something in the rules again. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah,
Let's see. Anyway, guys, that's all I had from my side tonight. I'm Yakisa for Battle Bros. Leave no one standing.